Hello, everyone who is watching this on record, and good morning, everyone who has joined us live today. Make health your business, and you can perceive this topic from two different perspectives, maybe even more. But today we will talk about your health is your own business. Nobody will care ever about your health than you. And also on the second part of this presentation, we will talk about how literally you can make your health your business and even earn some extra income with that. But before we start, we would like to, you see us, Ivanda and Yekaterina on the screen. I will introduce myself. Well, I'm Yekaterina. I currently live in Portugal, but I'm from Latvia. I've studied law, never worked as a lawyer because I always was interested more in the things that are beyond understanding what I thought, and that's why I studied mindset, energy, conscious approach overall towards the health and holistic approach to health. I studied hypnotherapy with Marisa Peer, and currently I'm a student in a naturopathy and nutrition school where I learn also more natural ways of treating our health, our bodies. And I didn't write here, but I am into, or I'm passionate about spiritual way of living as well. How we obtain or observe much more than just the visible part of the world is. And of course, I'm a Zinzino independent partner, and Zinzino is a main topic what brought us here today, but about that a little bit later. On Instagram, you can find me, you can see here, Cat Soul Therapy, and my colleague Ivanda. What makes us similar is this approach of therapeutical world and so on. But Ivanda, please share with us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, what combines us or what brings us together, we both are Latvians living outside. I live in Scotland, have been here since 2011, and you can see on my list there. So I very much started my career with chemistry graduation and then going into a research-based organization, which I'm still part of. So that's going to be almost 10 years, oh my God, this year that I'm part of this fantastic scientific community as well. But in the middle there, you can start to see creeping in mental health first aider and RTT therapy. So at some points in our life, we come to a point where things happen and you need to find new ways of helping yourself. So that's how I found a way to help myself through RTT therapy. And I was like, well, if that worked for me, must work for others. So I learned it. And again, it is about the balance. For me, it's always about the balance, is why Zinzino appealed to me as well. It is about that balance in our life. Yes, we have focus on our mind. We also have our physical body and our spiritual body. So all of these things that are there on the list that I have done, they are part of my story and they helped me. So it's a pleasure and gratitude to be able to give that to other people going forward as well. So yeah, thank you for that. And I think the balance is where we're going to have a lot of focus on today.
Yes, thank you so much, Ivanda. And my Zinzino story was started when I turned 40 last year, and I was looking for ways to take care more of my health because I have experience of different kind of problems with my gut system and the stomach, and then my father experience, which I will share a little bit later. And then, I believe when we set up intention, then information and people, the right people come and offers always appear when we set up our mindset. And I set up my mindset that I want better health and better income. And then a friend of mine introduced me to Zinzino, and I knew that, well, if she introduces me to Zinzino, Zana Stashla, by the way, who is here today as well, our friend and colleague, nutritionist, a very, very experienced one. And I knew that this is something that I will really want to do, to try for myself first. But let's see. We all want to feel good and stay fit and be healthy. But what is health? You can answer this question for yourself or in chat area and think about health. We all talk about health. We wish health on holidays, during holidays, or worry deeply when it suddenly disappears or we are losing it. But still, what is health for you? How do you define that I am healthy right now? I was looking for a perfect health definition. I went to Wikipedia, of course. I asked ChatGPT what would be a perfect health definition. And there was a lot of different constructions of the words put together that didn't really satisfy me. But I stayed with the simple idea that health is an absence of disease, and disease is an absence of health. Make sense? When we are healthy, it means that I'm not sick. And if I'm sick, that means I'm not healthy. Well, we can philosophize about that. But how would you rate your health right now from 1 to 10? If 1 is really poor condition of health and 10 is like, I'm the healthiest. I have no issues, nothing to complain about. And I really would like to see this rate in the chat area, if you don't mind to share. And while you are evaluating your health, we see some number appearing, number 6. I want to bring example of my dad. 20 years ago, he seemed a young 42 years old male, perfectly healthy. Some issues here and there, but overall he would say, I'm healthy. He had no pain. He didn't have anything like he would say, I'm bad with my health. But one day, this condition suddenly worsens. He doesn't wake up in the morning to go to his job. And before that, the evening before, he didn't have any complaints. He didn't have any symptoms that next day he will just not wake up from bed, and he had a stroke. The fact that nothing was bothering him the day before, was it a fact that he's healthy? Or where health stops and disease starts? Or when does disease finish and health starts? How do we define that? And the thing is, this whole situation made me think deeply. Are we really healthy when we feel like we are healthy? Or what kind of processes happen within us? So that suddenly one day I wake up with migraine or with a stroke or with any other kind of a condition. And I can see here numbers 7, 6, pretty good numbers, 9, 8, evaluation of your health. So where is the beginning of disease, as I mentioned, and where is the end of health? And what moment does person move from being healthy to becoming someone that is ill? And probably you have seen the wheel of life. I've made a wheel of health. And as Ivanda mentioned before, we humans consist of 3 main areas. It's our physical body. This is the easiest to see. This is the biggest part of our life. Then we have a mental part, our consciousness, our subconsciousness, and we have our spiritual part, the most like untouched, unseen part. But still, it's something that makes us a whole human being. Even though today we will not touch every part of this, we will only talk about nutrition. If you would feel, and I will send you this wheel of health also later on if you want, if you send me your emails, and I can share it with you, or you can draw it right now and see which area of this wheel is the least filled, let's say, because wheel cannot go smoothly if there are holes in it. Currently, we will focus on nutrition, and you have put your numbers, how you evaluate your health, and then we can compare it with other areas. Of course, to be healthy, we need to sleep properly, we need to cleanse our body from within, we need physical activity, we need to relax, and so on. We need to work on our mental state and our spiritual being as well. So we look at a person on this whole perspective, not just piece by piece. But today we will take a look at the nutrition. And to be a healthy nutrition, let's say this is you, and you as a person consist of 12 systems. We consist of different kind of organs, and then we have tissues, and then we have cells. But usually we go to doctor when we have problems with organs. Let's say I have problems with heart, like my dad, for example, then we go to cardiologist. If I have a problem with the stomach when I had it, I go to a gastroenterologist. But every day, trillions of our cells, they die, are reborn, and this process happens non-stop. That means that every 5 to 7 years approximately, we are completely new and healthy beings. But why aren't we new and healthy beings every 5 and 7 years? Because if our cells renew and are reborn, what is happening? What do you think? Why we, instead of getting healthier and healthier, we actually get sicker and sicker? You can answer this question for yourself. You don't have to answer it to us. And it happens because of the inflammation processes that are happening in our body. So now, what is inflammation? Inflammation is a natural process of our body that protects us. Yeah, it's a protection system. For example, if you cut your finger, it becomes red, might become a bit swollen. For that to heal that, we need inflammation. But the problem nowadays is that we have too much inflammatory processes. So when a new cell is born, it's already kind of contaminated by those inflamed cells, and it's not born totally, let's say, healthy. It is born from the state in which our body is in general. So now, what is the difference between acute and chronic inflammation? You can wave with head if you understand the difference. Some of you say yes. I see even the waving, she's giving me signals. So what is the difference between acute and chronic inflammation? As I've mentioned before, acute inflammation is a process that is necessary for us in order to heal. For example, you have something entering your body, you feel pain, maybe your body gets warm, swelling, redness appears, and your body cells, they help the healing process to happen naturally. The problem today is that when we have inflammation, it is kind of like a small fire that is turned on and never goes off. And in this way, our body is like it's always in defense mode. It cannot focus on repair, and because of that, aging processes, they speed up. Because of that, we feel maybe more tired. We wake up in the morning already willing to sleep again. And that all is connected to poor diet, stress elements, lack of sleep, imbalance in fats. And so our body stays all the time in low-level defense mode. So here we can see some reasons for acute inflammation. It can be allergic reaction, frostbite, chemical irritants, infection, burn, trauma, cuts, and so on that create inflammation. Our body is able to react reasonably quickly for us to help us to recover from it. What happens with a chronic inflammation? We most oftenly do not even feel that something is happening. Remember the example with my dad. He might have some arrhythmia, he was going to the doctor, checking it up, and everything seemed fine, nothing dangerous. But then one day, is it a sudden stroke that is happening? Or it's a collection of the processes for the past many years, probably. And as we saw before, our body consists of trillions and trillions cells. And if we look at each cell, we can see it as a little factory that works 24/7 to keep us alive. And as we age, these little factories, they slowly become less efficient, and they never break suddenly. They slowly, like communication between cells becomes noisy. There is like stress hitting us as human being. Repair of the cells takes longer, and all these processes bring us to chronic inflammation, and then there is a result: cancer, cardiovascular diseases, autoimmune diseases, and so on. And we can also see in the next slide that chronic inflammation is the main cause of modern degenerative diseases, and often it's lifestyle driven. These diseases are not connected to our age. These diseases are connected to our lifestyle, as I mentioned: stress, sleep, activity, and food as well, which we are talking about today. And me, myself, I was suffering a lot with migraines. Ever since I can remember myself, maybe 15, 16 years, it started like headaches. Oh, well, 15 years old, have a headaches almost every second week, which was kind of normalized because, you know, school and so on. But when I became mom and migraines were for 3-4 days nonstop and I couldn't leave the room, that was very alarming to me, even though that should be alarming also before. but that's when I started to look at it much more deeply and treat it. Doesn't mean that I don't have migraines today, but they are not as critical and as heavy today as it was before. And all of these illnesses or diseases are preventable. And we today also want to talk about how we can prevent things that we can prevent. And this is a very interesting study from last year. The deaths, different kind of reasons for death, and we can see that majority people died from heart diseases or cancer, and then the rest is different, of course, other causes. But this is alarming. This is something we think that we cannot prevent, but maybe we can do something about it with our tiny change in the lifestyle. And as Hippocrates said, let food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. And back then he already understood that what we consume actually is building us. And this is extremely interesting also for me from naturopathy perspective, because our body is so smart mechanism. Oftentimes I believe that we underestimate its wisdom, because if we give our body time and space and good material to cleanse itself and feed itself, our all other organs, they can work much more in much more balanced way. But what do we eat today? Today we eat man-made food, low in key nutrients, high in sugar, full of empty calories, low in fibers. And then there is imbalance, a huge imbalance, which we will talk a little bit later, between essential fatty acids, which are omega-6 and omega-3. And we can't make these fatty acids. Our body doesn't produce them. We need to have them in our diets. But what happens? Instead of going to the garden today, we go to the store, right? Supermarket, which is kind of obvious. But what do we get in supermarkets? We get so much ultra processed foods, which is not natural for our body. Our body doesn't even recognize it. And here even they found this amazing study from, or graph for ultra processed foods as percentage of household purchases. And we can see that Britain, top list, yeah, the number is quite alarming. And you can see some other countries, maybe you even see the country you are currently at, but the numbers are pretty scary, right? How much processed food we consume. And even if you think, or after this presentation, go to your shelf in the kitchen and start checking labels in the back, what everything nowadays is added in the products so they can stay longer in the shelves. But we need to remember that if it can stay so long in the shelf, it will stay the same length or even more in our body as well. And so another interesting piece of information, for me at least, it was how products, how fruits and veggies are losing nutritional value. I would never think that in the year when I was born, one apple would be much more nutritious than it's today when, for example, my daughter is 5 years old. How many apples does she need to eat to receive its full nutritional value? And we can see this reduction, 55% of reduction, just until the period of 2002. And that was how many years ago? 24 years ago. How these numbers might have changed today? Well, we can only guess. For sure in decline, not opposite. And you can see here some products, and the change is quite drastic. And it makes at least us to think, can I really eat as many apples, bananas, or broccolis in order to receive all nutritional value? Or how can I give my body not just empty calories, not just stuff it with food, but actually my body being starving itself? And as our scientist, Paul Clayton, which we will also mention a little bit later, says, we are the richest population nation. We enter the shop and we can get everything. But this is the time when we are living where our bodies starve the most. With everything that is available, our bodies actually are starving, and this is alarming. So how does the history of omega-6 and omega-3 changed the balance of these two? If before 60s, when food industry became much more active, let's say, we were consuming more nature, food from nature. Yeah, like even if I remember my grandmother, and that was not so long ago when I was living in a village with her, she would have cows, sheep, porks, gardens. We would only buy like oil. She would only buy oil and candies for us, and some other like bread, because she would not bake bread every day. But main food was from her garden, from the nature. And this is when, naturally, our omega-6 and 3 balance was in bigger balance, as you can see on the left side. 1-to-1 proportion is our DNA formulation, is how our body is made. It's how our body needs to function. 1 omega-3, 1 omega-6 to keep it in balance. Science still is okay with a proportion of 3 omega-6 and 1 omega-3 for a balanced function. But what do we see today? It's that omega-6 is increasing due to the food that we consume nowadays is not natural, as I've mentioned before. And the year 1960 was the turning point when food industry started to change drastically, and nowadays it's just going higher and higher, disbalance for our body. What are the consequences of omega-6 to omega-3 imbalance? Well, first of all, this is impacting our brain, our hair, our heart function, our skin loses elasticity, our organs do not function properly as they must do naturally, our joint, muscle pain, and so on. And Ivan will guide us now through why do we need this balance in omega-6 and omega-3, and why is it so important? Why are we spending so much time here talking about that? So she will guide you through this slide. Ivan, please.
Thank you. So I appreciate it is quite busy what's happening here on the slide, but let's start with step by step. And I really want for you to grasp the idea why, because if we don't understand why, then we don't understand what we need and to improve our health and so on. So when we talk about omega-6 and omega-3, there is two differences to understand there. So omega-6, when it comes into your body, it gets metabolized and it produces pro-inflammatory metabolites, which is fine. As we discussed previously, we do need inflammation in our body to be able to fight with any sort of cuts, bruises, anything like that. That's fine. When we look at omega-3, again, when it comes in our body, it gets metabolized into anti-inflammatory metabolites. So again, that is the other end of the spectrum. To be able to be in balance, this is what Yekaterina was saying about ideally having 1-to-1, and science of course allows 3-to-1. But structurally, let's have a look at structural. So at the very top, next to the omega-6, you can see kind of structure of it. And I want you to think about it as a wall, okay? Just a wall. Omega-3, however, it kind of has a curve, and it's almost like has a gap in between it. And I want you to think about it as a window. So it's kind of putting in simple terms. And that in the middle, imagine that is your cell. And omega-6, omega-3, it's really a building block for your cell. So imagine if you have all the time just walls in your cell, so omega-6s, so many omega-6s, then there is no space, no gap for your nutrients to get in your cells and the toxins and any waste materials to get out. So essentially, this is what we are saying. So omega-6 gives your cell a wall. So it's like building a house. Imagine you're building a house. You want both. You want the walls and you want the windows. If there's not enough windows, then the light is not going to get inside. And this is really about representation of omega-3 allowing the space for those nutrients, for vitamins, minerals to actually enter your cell and feed your cell with what it needs. However, omega-6 is providing that kind of strength and stability of what the wall would. So essentially, we both need both. So imagine a situation when you have too many walls, your nutrients get in the cell slowly, and waste materials also get out slowly. However, when we are moving towards the balanced way, we are essentially creating our cells soft with a flexible membrane in such way that nutrients can get in easily and waste products can get out easily. So this is what we mean when we talk about the balance. So this is like at the cellular level, structurally, how it's the importance of it. Again, if at any point you guys have questions, please do let me know. Because even for me, explaining this kind of heavy material at times can be, okay, how can I give this information to you so it's easy and understandable? So, if there are no questions, I want you to ask yourself, are you where you want to be? Or are you in a danger zone? So as we said before, are we floating above the iceberg? So it's like your 3-to-1 ratio. Or are we in the danger zone where we are hidden away in that chronic inflammatory state? Next slide, please. And this is a lovely quote from Dr. Paul Clayton. So it's one of our scientists at Zenzino. If inflammation is the amplifier of aging, then regulating inflammatory balance becomes one of the most strategic interventions we can make. So just something to think about. And of course, now if you are understanding, okay, fine, I do need this omega-3, omega-6 balance, but how do I do it? How do I reach that? And we really have two options here. One option is that we eat wild-caught fatty fish, such like salmon, mackerel, sardines, at least 3 times a week. And at this point, you can ask yourself, do I do that? Because there's no other way how you can get those essential fatty acids. When I say essential, it means our body can't produce them. We are consuming them, we are taking them in. And I can tell you that I was one of those people, and still am, who does do that. And I do eat 3 times a week. So just something to think about, and I'll come back to that point. Option number 2, it is that supplementation, but supplementation with high quality omega-3 in your diet. So these are really the 2 options, and ask yourself, which option are you currently meeting? And this is how we are bringing in the Zinzino concept. The reason why I closely related to Zinzino concept is because it's science-based. So I've been, as I said before, I've been working in scientific field. And when I see science, when I see certification, when I see testing, innovation and quality, this is where my attention gets drawn to. And this is exactly what Zinzino is all about. And the next logical question you might ask, well, okay, I eat wild fish or might even supplement, but how do I know if I am in balance? And this is where Zinzino concept comes in as well. Test it. First step is to test it. You might be absolutely fine, but test, don't guess. And something that it's interesting to consider, you might think, okay, yeah, I have and done the blood test, but it's the difference between blood tests here that I would like you to focus on. So the blood test that Balance Test gives you, it gives you long-term snapshot. So it's 120 days. What have you done? What have you eaten? How have you exercised? How have you looked after your body? Last 120 days. When you compare it to the normal blood test that you can get at your general practitioner, at your doctors, it really looks at that short-term snapshot. So it could be just a couple of days, essentially. And it gives you all sorts of different information as well. However, the main big difference, you are only covering the last couple of days. So if you last couple of days ate very perfectly good, this is what's going to show in your test. But how about cellular level? How about those 120 days long-term look? And this is so when you relate to testing, and this is the laboratory that Zinzino is partnered with. So it's not part of Zinzino. It's a completely separate laboratory to Zinzino. It's essentially a similar idea to where I work. So it's a contract research based. You make a contractual agreement and they provide a service. So essentially, Vitas Analytical is providing this contractual service to Zinzino to do these red blood cell dried spot tests for Zinzino. And you can see all the official partners there, that they are quite well-known names. So your Harvard, Cambridge, and all these are essentially, again, to me, shows the quality of analytical services that they provide. And Zinzino at the moment currently has done around just over 1 million, I think it's now closer to 2 million test results around the world. And all in all, on average, you can see that first test, on average, 97% globally have come back out of balance, which is a sad, true reality. And this is essentially a couple of our personal test results, just to show you what sort of information you can get. And these are our first test results. So remember when I talked about those options that we have, we either consume wild caught fish or we do supplementation. I did consume at least 3 times a week fish, and yet you can see my result being 9.7 omega-6s against 1 omega-3. So it bared me a question, what quality of food am I consuming that I still am not in balance? And Kat has her own personal results. I don't know if you want to say anything about your own results. I think it's Vladimir is your dad, isn't it?
Yeah, my dad, actually, I was thinking that he will have much worse result, but Then I was thinking that they still live in a village. They eat a lot of food that they grow in the garden. They really don't buy a lot of, they have some processed food, of course. Well, actually, quite a lot, but the result, I thought it will be worse, taking into consideration how much medicine he needs to take and all his illness experience. But his result is not the worst I've seen, which made me happy. But still, there is an area, of course, big area of improvement. And now he's like my best client, having his shots every evening. Yeah, and one more case. It's a friend, and she was also vegetarian and vegan. But before taking test, my friend Liva, she was already consuming some meat sometimes, but she was also very surprised, even though she thought she allowed me to share this information. Everybody who is here mentioned, well, me, Ivanda, we allow also share our information. She was a little bit surprised, and she said, "Oh my God, everything is so bad. I thought I'm living so good life." But this is not to show person that something you do is wrong. This is show that, hey, look, there is something that I can improve, that I can do about my health. Because even if I feel healthy and I do sports, or I think I exercise enough and sleep quite well, and I don't have any complaints, test is what is showing the real result. Test is showing the inflammatory processes that, remember, like that small fire that is burning non-stop in our body, the invisible fire. This is the visible part of it. We can see it, and we can take responsibility of our own health in our hand and say, hey, look, I'm at least going to give it a shot and try to take this fire as much off as I can. Later on, I will show you also my second result. The other people still are not in these 120 days, because the second test we take after 120 days. This is how long it takes for blood cell to regenerate, renew itself, and to see the result.
And yeah, talking about those 120 days, it's fascinating to me that a company is essentially guaranteeing you, look, if you are taking this supplementation according to the guidance that we provide to you, within next 120 days, you're back in balance. You know, when I hear that and company actually guarantees that, I'm like, well, they're almost like shooting themselves in the foot if they can't do it, you know? So it's fascinating. And again, that talks to me about the quality, and the product that they provide is actually of a high standard, high quality, and it works.
Here, I also would like to just mention one thing, that not just to show you rainbows and unicorns, because life is life. And we have seen also, very rarely, but we have seen that result is not improving, let's say, after those 4 months. And there are reasons. When client says, actually, I caught COVID during this period, or I was not having the products on regular basis. But most importantly, to understand that if you have extreme stress, illnesses appearing, this is taking away your immunity, crashing it down. And also, of course, cells need group and work harder in order to give support where it's needed. And in these situations, in extreme situations of health condition, it might happen that your result will not be green. But if there is no extreme situations and you are still taking the oil, the result will always improve. Might not be green immediately. It depends. We are so different. All of us are very different individuals, and our bodies also function in a very different ways. But if you kind of live in a normal average lifestyle as you lived before, and you take the products, your result with guarantee will be better. This is just also like a bit of
Reality check.
yeah.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, this is the Scientific Advisory Board. As we mentioned before, at the very top, you've got Dr. Paul Clayton, and they've got their own manufacturing and research and development team within them. So it's not just somebody without knowledge producing these supplements is somebody actually with knowledge, with that scientific background, looking at all of these processes and asking a question: how can we make this better? How can we make this efficient? What works, what doesn't? And so if we go to the next slide, and if you are supplementing yourself already, have a look at those supplementation companies and see what certifications are there, if anything, because it's, you know, medicines, when we produce medicines, they have to go through certain standards of certification. And one of the biggest one that catches my eye here is that GMP certification, so good manufacturing practice. This is a standard that they have chosen to go with, that usually medicines have to go. Supplementation doesn't have to go. And the fact that they have chosen to go down that route, again, to me, highlights the fact that they are really looking into quality here. And with so many other certifications. So, for example, the research organization I work in, it runs according to GLP. So it's again a branch of this, if you like. So again, this is where that connection and that understanding comes, that this is where you can really deeply look into that quality aspect of it. And so this is something you might ask, well, when do I need it? This is a building block. And those the health benefits that are very important at every stage of the life, from the very beginning that we get born into the teenage years, into the adult years, and all the way through to the age. It's all about looking after your brain, your heart, your immune system, your reproductive processes, joints, anything like that. So there is a need for it at every stage of life. And so this is where I would like you to introduce this Balance Oil product that really works in this synergistic formula. So within this Balance Oil, you've got 60% of high-grade fish oil from small, sustainably wild caught fish, and the other 40% is pre-harvested premium extra virgin olive oil. And in fact, it's all about those polyphenols in that extra virgin olive oil. It's a game changer, and I'll talk a bit more why. So this is a first why. If you are looking at your stability, and another thing you need to know about omegas is that they're very volatile. So any sort of, whether it's a light or temperature increases or oxidation, so oxidation when they get affected by it. So you need that protection. And so what they have shown here in this study, that Balance Oil is capable to protect your omega-3s for 35 hours. So meaning that if you consume it daily, you are essentially covered 24/7 to the point where you're actually building up accumulation of it. So you've got within your body this building block available to your body to use anywhere at any point throughout 24/7 cycle for you. And this is where I would like you to as well consider and look into any sort of omega-3 supplements that you use yourself. And most of all, that antioxidant that you will find in your supplement will be vitamin E tocopherol on its own most of the time. And the difference between Balance Oil, it brings in those polyphenols, because vitamin E, when it comes into our body and it meets any sort of free radicals within our body, it's almost like gets attacked and it doesn't anymore able to protect your omega-3. So again, your omega-3 loses its protection. However, polyphenols, another that preventative umbrella, like think about it, this like extra layer of protection to your omega. Actually, like in the previous slide, we were able, like this was able to be shown that oxidation is 35 hours at least within your body when you consume it. It can keep it alive and available. Another thing to pay attention to your supplementation is what levels of those omega-3s, EPA, DHA, and DPA levels are there actually. There's also vitamin D. And another fantastic thing, ask yourself, does your supplement considers your body weight? Because Balance Oil does. So we need to understand if, for example, I weigh 60 kilograms, somebody weighs 70 kilograms, someone else weighs 100, then logically thinking, each of these people need a different dosage level. And this is where Balance Oil, again, it is personalized. You are actually able to feed every single cell in your body rather than just 50%, for example, by the other supplementation that don't focus on your weight, essentially. And the Zenzino overall, this is the basis of products. It's a health protocol. So at the very first, this is what we talked mostly about today, which is that balance within our cells at our cellular level. We also have a huge topic around gut microbiome. So this is where the step 2 comes, is where we actually balance our gut. And again, Zenzino has a product associated with that, which is a blend of 8 fibers, xenobiotic. And then understand, if your cell is soft and flexible, remember that busy slide I was talking you through, if it's able to absorb those nutrients, if your gut is able to do the same, it's all about absorption. Only then can we speak about being able to supplement with minerals and vitamins, which is the third step, support, and that is that third product, Extend. So you can potentially already take vitamins and minerals already, but can your body absorb it, or you are just peeing it out? Sorry for my language. Thank you. I think this is back to you, Katerina.
Yes, thank you. So we all start from the cell. Yeah, remember the first slide when we look at the human being, but if we look at the human being from the cell perspective, if we give our cells, our building blocks, the most essential nutrition, then cell will take care of the tissues will be stronger, we will have healthier organs, we will have our systems more aligned, and then we at the end have a more healthy human being. And reaching a balance between omega-6 and omega-3 is the first step, as Ivanda very well explained, in order to feel good, stay fit, and be healthy. And now I want to also introduce you to some other products of Zenzino. You've already seen our blood spot test. We have currently 4 tests. The most famous is Balance Test, which tests the omega balance and inflammatory processes as well. Actually, we tested 11 different fatty acids in this test, and it gives you quite of a full picture of the state of fatty acids. Then we have vitamin D test, exactly the same process as Balance Test. It shows you result from the previous 120 days, how your vitamin D was behaving and intake is doing in the previous 4 months, not just in the previous 2-3 days. We also have a sugar test to see, especially after 46, I've read that you need to start taking care of your blood sugar to see if you have potential risk of diabetes. And this is another product that Zenzino has, and our newly released last year in October gut health test that is next step test for the gut. We don't need to sorry for my language, Ivan already spoke about peeing vitamins out, but you don't need to poop in the pot in order to see who and what lives in your body. But actually you take sample from your blood and receive a full picture as well about your gut health. And of course, the base for everything is omega-3 processed balance oil. And Zenzino is unique with the diversity of balance products because we have a classic balance oil, we have a patented vegan version of balance oil. Zinzino actually owns a factory of algae where we grow our own algae and create this unique product. Of course, polyphenols and all the vitamins are included there as well. We have aqua version of balance oil because not all bodies are the same. Not all people can actually break down the fats because we have some problems maybe with the health and so on. And balance oil, Dr. Paul Clayton has created this special formula, which is already, I will not be able to explain it so scientifically, but basically your body doesn't need to break down the fats. It's done already within the formula and it's much easier, softer for our body to absorb it. Then we have a premium balance oil. If you want to your cells to swim in this richness of omega-3 and polyphenols, it's actually much more higher in polyphenols than classical balance oil, for example. And if you are just like my husband who doesn't like to drink oil and prefers pills and also travel a lot, we also have Ascent Plus Premium product where you can have our balance oil in pills, which are actually how they differentiate from other pills that you might take, supplements, other omega-3 supplements. Our pill is not made of glycerin, the product that covers the pill. It's made of cacao seed product, so it's also natural. It absorbs by body much easier. And of course, we have also the polyphenols, our olive oil available. And then we have, once we give all that our cell needs, omega-3, then we can talk about immunity and restoring the process. So we have there Extend, our vitamins. Protect is my current favorite, my actually top product. I will explain you a little bit later also why. We have vitamin D. We have Multify vitamins for kids, which is amazing product. Spirulina. We have also Xenogene, which is not available in all countries, but it's also kind of cleansing for your system. And in spring, actually, it's a good time when you can take this product to enrich prepare our body for the new season. Viva is natural saffron product. It's we call it spa for our brain. And well, it's Evanda's favorite product as I remember, because she was using it a lot before even joining Zinzino as a client, and it helped her and many other clients to calm down the depression. And it's not a medicine. Overall, I have to make here one big red exclamation mark. Zinzino products is not medicine and it doesn't do any healing process. I like to call it food. It's a concentrated product that gives you all nutritions that your body needs. And it's a supplement that can help you. You still need to eat healthy, sleep well, walk, run, get fresh air, cleanse your body, and help your body with these products, but not substitute in any case any other product with Zinzino products. But in the last row, you also can see our gut health and some additional wellness products. Gut health, Zinzino Biotic is another my favorite. It's the 8-fiber collection of 8 fibers. It's also patented and unique in the market. So far, nobody else has created this kind of food for the whole gut system, not just feeding a part of the gut system, but the whole gut system. Good bacteria are satisfied with this product. And then some other products. And I know that in few countries, there is only balance oil and let's say skin serum available. And I want to mention from all of these also our skin serum that regenerates our cells and hydrates the skin. And it has, again, Dr. Paul Clayton has created this unique formula because they were observing why some people age faster and some people in the same age, they look like they don't age, which made scientists think that actually we can either postpone aging process or we can speed it up by our lifestyle, again, by what we consume and so on. So that's when skin serum was created. And with time, our skin slims down or slowly, yeah, thins. It gets weaker. It loses its elasticity. Wrinkles appear. I think all women can relate, at least after maybe some 30, 40 years. But combined this skin serum with a balanced oil, because we first need to take care of our cell to make sure that cell is elastic, flexible in order to receive all the goodies that we give it to it. And it's proved scientifically that skin serum can help. There is a 36% increased skin elasticity after just 60 days of using this product, which is, I think, amazing result. I love this product. I even brought it to show you. I wish we can do this in live so you can touch it, you can smell it. It actually doesn't smell because it's 100% natural product. But it's
And also it goes very, very well with collagen boost. So it's like a take care of yourself within, but also from outside. So that's a really good combo.
Yes, thank you. Collagen boost is another my favorite. I have all favorite. I would say all favorite, but if three, then it's these three. Okay. So now I want to introduce you also a little bit about Zinzino, who we are, what we do. And if previous part was, and I know we already are at 11:01, it's a nice number, but just give me a few more minutes to share with you. So we talked about make health your business from perspective of the health, how you can take the health as your own business in your hands and feed yourself with all necessary produce. But now we will talk also about make health your business part with Zinzino. And we are global health and wellness company from Scandinavia. And why I also, what got my attention within Zinzino, I've been in many different companies before, but what I like about Zinzino, it's its transparency. It's quoted in Nasdaq First North Premier Growth Market, so you can both buy auctions,
stocks and share.
Stocks and share of Zinzino. Thank you. You can see all the financial reports, so it's super transparent, super like. Here you go, you can check everything about our company. And this company works in over 100 countries in the world. So basically, you can see also in the map where we are located at. And going from guess-based to test-based nutrition was second point that got my attention, because if I see the result, it makes my point A and I know where my point B will be after for a month, and I can check it if these products that I use actually work without just blindly using things and hoping that something works. And we could see, even they showed you that 97+% of people fail their first balance test due to the lifestyle, due to the conditions that we are living right now, and due to those shelves of shop that we also have seen before. And this is my test as well, before and after 120 days. And I was telling even that, oh my God, I'm a bit afraid to take my second test. What if it will not be green? Like, what do? I take my supplement. But it's like brain playing the games. But what was the most pleasant information for me here was my protection value, because before I would always get herpes virus when I move or when I have stress. I would have herpes virus 3 times or once in 3 months, once every 3 months. And Protect, the product that I said it's my top favorite, is something that I also use on daily basis, and it's rich in beta-glucans. Beta-glucans are helping us to improve our immunity. And I can see the result after just 4 months that it improved from 35 to 84%. And when I moved to Portugal, it was in December last year. It was pretty stressful moment in my life, and I thought, okay, when I come there, I will have again herpes virus. Let's see if this Protect work. And I didn't have it. And that was for me really, really like proof of that this product works for me. I only can speak for myself. But I know a lot of my clients also like this product, and it helps them to avoid getting very ill. Of course, we are just human beings and we can get ill, but it can help you strengthen the immunity. Does it mean that I don't need to use balanced soil anymore because I'm balanced. No, we still have some yellow areas, and it's like asking a person, so does it mean that I should stop eating now because I ate all my life, all 40 years before, now I don't need to eat because suddenly I'm full? No, this is a product. It's food for ourselves. So of course I will continue eating it and consuming it. But why to join Zinzino and make health your business as a partner? It's a global business. It addresses a global problem. And health is something that was always in attention of people. And I believe the longer we will go forward we go, the more people will start to pay attention on the health. And people already want to see more visible results, test and see the improvements. So this is something where we offer solution that is accessible to everyone. And this is a product that everybody needs on daily life for a lifetime. And this is the opportunity to build an international business without any costs or liabilities. You don't need to invest in a building, in shipping, in a web page, even creation. Everything is already made for us here. There is no boss. No one can fire you, only you yourself and your team that supports you, which is a mentoring, coaching, absolutely free of charge, and amazing community of the people who are like-minded, who think alike. And as I've said, there is a platform that is ready to use, regular trainings happening, and your business and offer will always be relevant because health is always relevant. And if you decide to work in the morning whenever you decide to work, how many hours you decide to work, this is what you can do. You don't have to scan your card to peep the hour when you enter and exit. So you have the freedom, and of course based on that also will depend your earnings, and there are no limits in the earnings. You can earn additional 2, 3, 500 euros or additional 20, 30, 50,000 euros per month. It really depends on your need and your activity. And as a bonus, I see it as a huge bonus. You get improved health, improved finances, personal growth, without which you cannot be in this business, plus supportive community that is always here to support you. Support, not do things for you. This is also very important to mention. And to join the company is very simple. You have a 3 selection of the sets or partner kits, and I know in certain countries they might be differentiated, as I mentioned before. In some countries you might only see like balance oil and serum, but most countries offer these partner kits. So you either start with a basic partner kit, you start with advanced partner kit, or ultimate partner kit, which values actually almost 3,500 euros, but you get it for 1,169. But I have to admit here, I have to mention here one information, is that from March, due to inflation, prices will change everywhere, and also Zinzino prices will slightly change. We still don't have information how and which products, but this is something just to consider, that if you want to join either as a client or a partner, there might be slight difference in prices in March. So currently in February, we are still in February 2026, the prices are as per February. And what also I really like about the starting with ultimate partner kit is that in a year you can get your money back. If you stay as a partner, if you're active partner, you invested in this partner kit, you use the product or you sell the product, but most importantly, you can get fully refunded. If you acquire 25 premier customers within a year, and just isn't it wonderful? You basically start the business for free. And how do we do the business? You can do it in 2 ways. You can build your client portfolio, and in the beginning, this is how most of us start. We start using product ourselves, and then we say about it to our family, friends. They also want to get products, so we build our client portfolio. And another way how to do that is to build your own team. So it's your partners, like collecting the group of people who want to build business together, and team effort actually brings you bigger income, I would say.
Exponential income.
Exponential growth, exactly. So team effort versus your effort, you can see you can go as a warrior alone in this business, which is possible, or you can grow your team or go with your team together. And what is the business potential is the one of the most asked question when if I join Zinzino. So how much can I earn? This is the most favorite question. So the sky is the limit. The earning depends only on your efforts and how much you dream to earn. You need to understand that here you have all possibilities open. We have a wonderful compensation plan that offers you, that transparently shows you your action. This will give you as much. And you can see you can start with a bronze level from 50 euros and you can grow up to 110 euros plus 1,000 euros, sorry, per month, depending on the level you reach. My highest level was a executive, but the amount of money you can earn also varies. It's average. And that month in November, my income was 1,139 euros. I remember this number because it was like, wow, that's nice bonus in a month. Here you also see the prices in pounds, as some of you are from UK. Even would you like to mention something also here?
I would like to mention here the fact that, for example, it really depends, like what Yekaterina was saying, how quickly you want to go. For example, if you're juggling many things, it doesn't matter how quickly or slowly you go. You go at your own pace. Like, for example, I joined back in October, and I'm that little snail person that likes to kind of take the time and understand every detail, and also having the corporate job plus the therapy business plus now Zinzino, it really depends. You can do it full time, which again will represent how much you earn. You can do part time, or you can do no time. You know, we make our own time and we do it at our own pace.
Yeah, this is again very important to understand. There is no boss who will tell you that if you don't do that, you are going to be fired. The only person who can fire you, it's yourself. But the rest you will always get support when if you need it. You also need to ask for it. But it's all about timing as well. Zinzino is the company that was established in 2005, and today it's 20 years old. I was like almost thinking, how old are we? It's 20 years old, and it's having very brave and huge plans for the future. As you can see, in 10 years we are planning from 1 million customers grow into 20 million customers, and that's pretty impressive plans. It's also very important sign for me from the company that they plan to stay. It's not a company that is going to disappear in 2, 3, 5 years. And also knowing owners of the company, they have lots of videos. We have some meetings where they also present things to us. So they create this insurance level, not insurance feeling, but yeah, like
Reassurance, do you mean?
reassurance. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a 1 hour we are talking. Reassurance that we are going the right direction and we are here to stay. And of course, perfect timing would be maybe 10 years ago, but always perfect timing is today when we can start and make decisions, whatever decisions we make. So if you want to join us, you can become Zinzino partner, yeah, or Zinzino client, yeah. Potential earning, different kind of activities. You can travel with our company. You can go to conferences, get upskilled in soft skills, in different kind of educational trainings. You can get your Zinzino products for free through the partner supportive program, and of course, most importantly, bring health for yourself, for your loved ones, and to the world. And if you want to try out first or just want to use the product, you can save on your monthly orders. You can get discounts on Zinzino products, and you can receive a money back guarantee as well, and opportunity to qualify for Zinzino for free. yeah, for our loyal clients, the company also gives these opportunities to use your products for free. But if you want to know about all these options in more details, you can talk to the person who invited you to this presentation or who approached you, and they will explain you for sure in much more details. Or if you have questions, you can also drop them right here. So, and with this note, we would like to wish us, let's shape the future of nutrition together. If you would like to do it together, we would be happy to see you in our team. But with that, I would like to say thank you for joining, for spending your Saturday morning, afternoon, or wherever you are together with us. And let me stop sharing the screen and see if somebody's still with us. Somebody's still with us, yeah. You can unmute yourself. You can also, of course, put your cameras on for us to see you, or just share with us some words if you'd like to.
Or any questions?
Hey, ladies. Oh, sorry. I decided also to share my results when you were sharing your results. So as you said, we can decide on our own how we want to build this business. If it goes slowly or if it goes like fully in. So when I started, I decided to build it like quite going deep in it, and I within first 6 months I reached level director, which is 7+ K per month. So you can do it also like that way. Yes, spending several hours per day building your team, adding and making customer base. So yes, that's yes, Yekaterina is sharing here this business potential. Yes, so my level is director, and I'm not in Zinzino even a year. So yes, you decide how quickly and how big you want to build it. And thank you, ladies, for a beautiful presentation. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, and thank you for the excellent presentation. Thank you. Pleasure. I loved doing these presentations.